Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be discussing my most wanted species for Jurassic World Evolution 3. As everyone knows, Evolution 3 will be launching October 21st, which is in a few days for me. Maybe when this video comes out though, it might be a few days after, but who knows. And this game is bringing across a lot of fan favourite species that people have wanted for a while, such as Pterosaurs and Guanlong. There's also a lot more, but we don't have time to name it. Let's just get straight into the point of the video. So this is my wish list personally. It's not really in any specific order. Also, if I get any facts wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. It would be helpful because I don't really know my stuff too well, so I would appreciate any help in the comments. And yeah, this list doesn't just include dinosaurs, right? It includes aquatic reptiles, flying reptiles, and synapsids and stuff like that. You get what I mean? So essentially this list is about 40 species long, so I'm not going to try and do deep dive into the facts of each dino. I'm just going to try and rush it a bit, maybe say like one or two things about it, but other than that, it's pretty much just a lot of fan favorites that people want to see, and also my fan favorites and personal sort of things I want to see in the game. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the list. The first species I want to introduce is the Austroraptor, which is a feathered dromaeosaur from the Cretaceous period. So I really want this guy because, I've wanted this since the start of Evolution 2, honestly. I've wanted Austroraptor for a while. And now I think with the feathering and with the piscivore diet, you can really do something special with him. Like maybe you could even make him semi-aquatic, honestly. Let him swim. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be really cool. So I feel as if this is a species that everyone wants, and I think it'd be a good idea to add to the game. Second species is Yangtrugosaurus, which is a medium carnivore from Asia, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure which time period. I think it's the Jurassic, but I'm not 100% sure. And I know a lot of people want this guy in the game. I know they could make some spectacular skins and stuff on this guy, so I would love to see him in. Number 3 is the Liver Titan. Not sure if I said that correctly, but is essentially, I believe, the largest whale to ever exist, and it's an ancient whale, prehistoric, existed a few million years ago, I'm pretty sure, and I know a lot of people want to see this guy in game. Now that the Megalodon is in the game, it opens up the possibility of maybe seeing some Cenozoic aquatic species, and I think Liver Titan is the best one to introduce. If you got to have a shark, you got to have a whale. Number 4, the Pterosaurs. I know a lot of people want to see this guy because of the unique sort of bristle-like teeth, I guess. And I know this guy would be feathered as well, making it even more unique. A lot of people want to see it, so I think Frontier should just get this guy in the game, add him in, done. You got a fan favourite in. Number 5, I know a lot of people want to see this guy, but I really want to see this guy, So Megalania, which is a prehistoric reptile from Australia, which is existed, I'm pretty sure, not that far off, actually. I'm pretty sure it's fairly recently, 50,000 years ago or something, which, I think it might be a bit too recent in that, but it isn't a mammal, so it's going to be easier to implement. It won't feel out of touch with the game, I feel like. And it just opens up uniqueness, you get me? So it'd be good to see. Then 6, Pelecymimus. So with the addition of Ornithomimus, a lot of people are going to be like, why the hell do you want another Ornithomimid? Well, see, Pelecymimus is way smaller than the other Ornithomimids, I know that. And also feathered as well, and it is a piscivore, so it will eat fish, which I believe is pretty unique. I mean, it's not just a piscivore, it obviously eats plants and that too, but the main idea would be you'd have a feathered ornithomimid that can eat fish, which I think is pretty unique and would create some good diversity among people's parks. 7, Dinosuchus. So everyone, of course, wants a large crocodilian, and I do too. So this guy would be semi-aquatic, obviously. I mean, Frontier might be like, let's put him in the lagoon so he can deep dive. Because from what we know, The species that swim can't actually go under the water. They don't dive. They just stay at the top swimming. So maybe Frontier will be like, let's put it in the lagoons and we'll do the islands for it, and is what it is. That's fine with me still. Or they'll be nice to us and put it in the semi-aquatic sort of zone, and we'll let it swim in deep water, and we'll be able to have it interact with dinosaurs and guest, which I think will be a pretty good thing to do, because it could have some good kill animations, like it really could. Now, I know heaps of people want this guy to be in the game. Been requested since Evolution 1, so I think it will come at some point for sure. Then next, Sparkomelis, which is a ankylosaur, which has recently been discovered, which is very, very prominent, very, it really shows itself. It's got really long spikes, so I feel like this could be a really, really, overpowered defensive dinosaur, in the combat. Could have some really good kill animations. It could make for an interesting death animation where the carnivore goes for it, but it just struggles to find the kill spot, maybe. So I would love to see this guy in the game. It looks really cool. Number 9, Ichthyovenator. So this guy I've wanted for a little while. I've wanted him since the start of Evolution 2 as well. And yeah, honestly, could make some really good skins with this guy. There's a lot of variety you can do with him, with the sort of sail that's kind of split, and the thick tail as well. So essentially it would be a semi-aquatic, of course, and it would be more accurate looking. It wouldn't really be like Jurassic Park stylized as much, because obviously we want to see what we can get out of it. But I think a cool idea to make it just that little bit more unique is maybe you make it Lox or something like that, which I would love to see personally. Then number 10, a Dilophosaurus, which is essentially a smaller Dimetrodon. So I want to see this guy personally because it would give us a more accurate Dimetrodon as well, possibly. And smaller, the sail shape's a bit different. And I want to see Frontier's take on a species like this as well, not movie taken like Dimetrodon. Number 11, Velociodromius. I've wanted this guy for a while as well. I know a lot of people are split on this guy. A lot of people are like, there's no need for him because we've got Tapijara, and we're obviously going to get the Karujara. I don't know how to pronounce it, the new pterosaur in Evolution 3. But yeah, I kind of want to see this guy still because they can make him larger. He is bigger, so it would be cool to see feathered. And they could obviously add some stuff, maybe make the crest Lox or something like that, Number 12, Gorgonops. So I've really wanted to see this guy for a while, of course. I think he'll make his way into the game at some point, but we'll just have to wait till later on in the game's lifespan. I know he's from the Permian period, I believe. Maybe not that exact one, but it was before the age of the dinosaurs, obviously. And then let's get straight to 13, Xenatus. I don't know. I definitely didn't say that right. But it is a prehistoric fish, which is fairly large, not as big as Dunkleosteus, but I think it's similar in size, length to Archelon or something like that. So I really want this guy because personally, I think we need just more fish in the lagoons. I need fish to fill up the lagoons, make it feel more like an ecosystem in there. And I think this guy's the perfect choice for it, honestly. I know a lot of people want him, so it would be good to include. Number 14 is Simosuchus, which is a small herbivorous crocodilian. Heaps of people want to see this guy in the game, and I do too, because small herbivorous crocodilian, it's pretty cool. Very unique species, and also because of its showcase in Prehistoric Planet. A lot of people like it. Number 15, Zhuchengtran. I don't know how to say its name. It's a pterosaur. And I personally want it because it's small, it's got a little crest, it's feathered, and I think it would just be cool to see just a small guy to include. Feel like it wouldn't be too hard to include as well, so would love to see him in game. Another species I would like to see is the Irritator, which is very heavily requested by fans, and is not as unique as Ichthyovenator, but is still a cool piscivore, Spinosaurid, none of the less. It's it's got kind of spikes on it. You know, you could make this guy Lux instead just because he's a bit less unique. I believe he has like a higher like spine than Suchomimus, but not like a Spinosaurus like spine, you know, it just depends. So let's get straight to the next species. Number 17, Argentinosaurus. You know, everyone wants this guy in the game. He's further down the list now because we have Patagotitan, which is pretty similar to this guy, maybe just a bit smaller. So I don't see the need to include this guy as much anymore with Patagotitan in the game, but I would still love to see it down the line at some point, of course. And I know a lot of other people do too, so probably will make it in at some point, so what I would assume. Number 18, Hatzogotrix. Would still love to see this guy in game. You know, there's a lot of design liberties you could take on this guy. Essentially, you'd make it a bit more accurate because we got Quetz, which is very Jurassic sort of stylized. So you'd give us an accurate, really like Adzarchid or whatever it's called. And yeah, it'd just be cool to see. I know a lot of people want to see him, so would be a nice inclusion. Number 19, Mononychus, which is a species honestly should be a bit higher up on the list. I really want to see this guy. This is the perfect way to introduce the insectivore feeder back into the game, and you make it usable for this guy. Essentially a really small, could be like our feathered Compsognathus, would be cool to see. I mean, they don't look heaps similar, but you get the idea. Number 20 would be the Quincana, which is a crocodilian from Australia, which I think existed fairly recently as well. Maybe not as recent as Megalania, but something around that sort of time period. And it essentially is a large crocodile like Dinosaurs. Not as large, but still large. But the difference is that it stands very tall. It has long legs, so it reaches a very tall height, which I think means it would be better on terrestrial land, of course. But depends on what Frontier wants to do with it. Number 21 is the Antarctopelta, which is a ankylosaurid from Antarctica. So obviously I want to see this guy because we need more Antarctic species representation in Evolution 3. We only have, for right now we have 0, but we know Cryolophosaurus will be coming back to the game, which means we have at least 1 Antarctic species. So hopefully we can make 2. And it's pretty small. It would be sort of min-my sized, I believe, but its tail is a bit more, it has a tail that's a bit more like an ankylosaurid. It doesn't have that like flat tail like the min-my. It has a slightly more normal tail, not the big round stone, but it's like a bit more defensive, you know. I don't know. I think a lot of people don't want to see this guy in the game, but this is just a personal choice that I want to see. But if it doesn't get added, then too bad, too sad, you know. It's not massive on the list. Number 22 is the Ozraptor, which is an Australian species, which is quite small. It is, I believe, to be only a bit bigger than a cat, which shows in this image. It is, I think it existed in the Cretaceous period. It, you know, I want this in the game because I want more Australian representation as well, you know. So I hope this guy makes it in. There are a lot of liberties you can take on this guy. You can make it more accurate, you can make it less accurate, you know. Frontier can choose what to do. So nonetheless, let's get to the next species. Number 23 is the Dromaeosaurus. So yeah, I want to see this guy because I think we deserve a accurate feathered raptor. Not the Utah raptor, you know, he's pretty accurate, but I believe we need one that's more like a feathered, like an accurate velociraptor. That's what we need. We need a small raptor that's more accurate in the face, and it fills that niche of the small feathered raptor. So I hope this guy makes it in. Really, really want to see him in. I know a lot of people do too. He's pretty requested. He's not the highest, but he's like mid-highish, so I know a lot of people want him. I'm going to have to cut this video down because this list is going to take too long, quite frankly. So we'll stop at 25 and I will include all the other species into a list later on. Number 24 is the Paciliosaurus, which is I believe a descendant of a whale. an ancestor of a whale. I'm not 100% sure, but would add a lot of variety to the lagoons, I feel like. Also just a species that a lot of people want to see in the game, so, I think why not? Let's just get him in now, get it over and done with. Number 25 is the Glaciosaurus, which is a prosauropod from Antarctica. So you may all wonder why I didn't pick Plateosaurus, and it's for this reason. I want to see Glaciosaurus in instead. Because essentially it can fill that same niche, it can fill that same loophole, it can be this Plateosaurus we want. It's essentially just from Antarctica, you can stylize it a bit if you want. And I think it get it in, get it out, whatever. I think it fills in, the niche. And I personally want it more than Plateosaurus. I'm actually not massive on Plateo, just because of how overrated he is. Everyone's going to hate on me for that opinion, but I don't mind. Do what you want with it. So now that brings us to the end of the video, and I just want to say thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening to my list. It's a shame we couldn't do all 40 species. It'd be way too long of a video, so I'm just going to skip them out and I'll move them all into a later video at a later date, of course. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to correct me on any facts I messed up in the comments, of course. And see you guys later.